Please read the disclaimer. Holy smokies, it ain't no joke. It's massive news for the crypto market. XRP holders, how you doing there? We're going to talk about XRP, about the crypto market. It has been a very interesting 24 hours. Not a lot of price action, but there has been a lot of news that has been coming out for the crypto market for XRP. So we're going to cover all that. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Listen, you guys have been lacking. You know, your only job is to smash the like button. And we saw that when the videos were getting over 1,000 likes, the price of XRP was doing what it was doing. So I'm just saying, right? Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.37, down 0.66% on the day. If you hear sounds in the background, it's because my son is having a meltdown. It's been too many days with no school and inside the house, and last night we woke up a few times as well. So it's fun times. Currently, Bitcoin is at 69,850. It actually dropped all the way to 69,200, but now we're seeing over the last hour or so a little bit of a rise here. We do have today the initial jobless claims that is coming out, so that is going to be something that we need to watch at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That could move the market one way or the other. Okay, so take that into consideration. Right now, Ethereum is at 2,040, down also 0.5%. Solana at 85 here. Again, nothing too crazy on the crypto market. Oil is coming back a little bit, although over the last 3 hours, it has pulled back. So it popped all the way back to 95. So oil continues to be very choppy here. You can see it dropped down all the way to 76, and then it made a 25% movement there in 1 day and 9 hours up to 95. There's been a lot of talk about what's happening. Iranian drone attacks damaged tankers in Persian Gulf amid U.S. strikes. So now you have oil tankers getting destroyed or getting hit. And that's why we're seeing the oil prices pop again. Again, remember, oil going up to 100, 120, that creates fear in the market. So that's what we're seeing right now. I read something that the Iranians are going to try to get it to $200. I don't know if that is potentially going to happen. I don't know if the world will let that happen, but that's one of their tactics to try to slow down their demise. The Iranian regime is to push the prices up so much that it won't be economical for this to continue the attack against them. We'll see again, but that affects everything. That affects inflation, that affects what the Fed is going to do, that affects the markets. And so it's very important that we understand and we cover this every single day. Currently, silver and gold are, sideways moving again after there was a lot of run to silver and gold in the weeks coming to the conflict. Now that the conflict is here and it's not the end of the world, right? It's not WW3. The prices have cooled off a little bit. So right now, oil is the hot thing. It's getting a lot of action. It's getting even in the crypto market. You can see here, Brent oil longs got short on XYZ Brent oil here. So there was a token that was mimicking oil, and people got liquidated there. So a very, very interesting situation right now in the markets. As always, I just want to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes, educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. So if we go back to the markets, massive news for the crypto markets. The US SEC and CFTC have signed a MOU to collaborate on crypto regulation and new digital asset products. For a year, the biggest problem in crypto was the SEC claiming tokens are security, the CFTC claiming they are commodities, two agencies, two rulebooks. Trillions sat on the sidelines due to zero clarity on who was in charge, and the MOU ends the war between the SEC and the CFTC. What this document actually means: regular meeting to discuss emerging regulatory issues before they become problems, real-time data sharing on specific incidents, events, and market activity, cross-market surveillance and joint examinations, a dedicated framework for crypto assets, cross-training of staff on each agency's jurisdiction, coordinated enforcements to avoid conflicting outcomes for the same assets, Combined with the approval of the crypto market structure bill in Congress, the MOU removes regulatory uncertainty and paves the way for trillions in institutional money. With this clarity, plus growing stablecoin adoption, crypto is ready to transform the global financial system. You can see here Mark saying here, for years, the biggest problem was that, you know, they were saying this is mine, this is yours, right? They were clashing, and the SEC was saying these are securities and these are not commodities, and the CFTC was like, no, these are commodities, and so that what was happening, and there was clashing. And when you don't have regulatory clarity, big institutional money, again, we've talked about this before in the past, it's not going to come in. It's going to sit on the sidelines. Why? Because they don't want the legal trouble. The legal trouble potentially could not be the worth the potential profit. So they are sitting on the sidelines. There's a reason why financial advisors have not, over the years have not said, hey, let's get our customers into the crypto markets, even though the crypto markets were doing amazing, right? And they were making big profits along the years. Of course, if a financial advisor would have said in 2016 and buy crypto, right, that person would have made a lot of money. But they weren't doing that because of the stigmatism, the stigma, not stigmatism. Stigmatism is in the eyes, right? The stigma against the crypto market. You had, Senator Warren and Gary Gensler and all these people going after crypto and saying that it's bad and only bad people use it and things like that. And so there was that stigma. And once the government comes in and the government says, hey, we're giving you clear rules of the land. If you do this, you'll be okay, right? These investments won't be under scrutiny, or you won't get, an investigation by the Department of Justice or all kinds of things like that. And so it's higher probability that the big money, the big institutions are going to start putting their money where their mouth is and start investing in the crypto markets. It could be via ETF, like we've seen with Goldman Sachs, but it could also be other ways. And so it's going to be very interesting to see if the Clarity Act passes, right? Again, we don't know if the Clarity Act is going to pass or not. You can see here Patrick Witt saying, a daily update on the Genius Act or the Clarity Act, saying lost in rewards yield debate is how Genius compliant stablecoins will actually lead to deposit inflows. Global demand for USD is massive. Foreign exchange local currency for stablecoins from US dollar based issues. This is net new capital entering the American banking system. So they want the Clarity Act to get done. They want the Clarity Act to go forward, President Trump and the Trump administration. And the days go on and the time goes on, and the crypto market is kind of sitting and waiting and seeing if this is going to pass or not. And again, I think that we won't see massive movements in the crypto market until this gets done. Maybe we'll have a pop. We've seen a 10, 15, 20% pop even, but the potential big runs, I don't think we're going to see that until we get the Clarity Act done, right? But we're still seeing investors come into XRP and come into the XRP ETFs. We talked about how XRP ETFs have accumulated, have actually held up pretty well despite the massive pullback in price, and a cumulative 1.4 billion since launch. And Brad is liking it given the googly eyes here. So even though the price action maybe has not been to our liking, if you are, long on the asset on XRP, investors continue to accumulate the asset at these lower levels, and we're seeing this. They're not flying. They're not. There is some pullback, right? But for the most part, they're holding the assets very nicely. The XRP ETFs. Benjamin raises something very interesting here. We're at a state where Bitcoin is at the same valuation against gold as it was in late 2017. Now, is this good or bad? Well, if you're holding gold, it's probably good. If you're holding crypto right now, it's not that great because, it would have been better to have gold. But on the flip side, remember that 2017, right? If we go and we look, there was in late 2017, we already started seeing the pullback, right? So you were at 2017, right? And then it started selling off. You're going to 2018. So this is a very interesting scenario right now. Does this mean that crypto is undervalued or overvalued? Um, 2017, if you say late 2017, then there was a big sell-off off of that, right? Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 3,000. So is he saying that we're going to continue to see a massive sell-off on the crypto market? Or does this mean that we're undervalued versus gold? Crypto is undervalued versus gold, and the same scenario is not going to play out, but we're going to catch up to that potential value. Where was gold in 2017? Can we get that? Let's go to the weekly chart here for gold. Gold. Where are you? 2017. So gold was at 1,346, right? And now it's at 5,000. So look at that. It's about, right, a 5x. And Bitcoin is about, if you go here, it's about a 2x, a 3x higher, a little bit more. So this is very interesting that we're at the same ratio at that point. Interesting that he says that, so this was after the run up. Interesting. But we have seen it be lower, right? And we've seen it be higher. So we'll see how this potentially will play out here. Will the crypto market catch up on the M2, right? We were always talking about the M2 and how Bitcoin and crypto had been mimicking the prices or the price action there of the M2. And now we're seeing a huge disparity, right? So the question is, will we see a catch up? Again, I think that it could happen. It just will probably happen just after the Clarity Act. I think a lot of the money right now is just sitting and waiting for the Clarity Act. When will that come? That's the $1 billion or the $1 trillion question. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Will we see the market recover before the Clarity Act? Will we see it go to, doom and gloom and continue to sell off here in the next coming months? What do you think is the current status of the crypto market, and what are you doing? Right. So are you buying the dip? Are you dollar cost averaging? Are you reducing your crypto assets? Are you investing in other things? Maybe something interesting that we would be interested in as well. So let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to smash the like button and check out the links in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.